Hey guys, Infidel1258. So I want to do a video answering some questions that were left on the channel, and they all revolve around bots and Archmage. And as you well know, this is a super contentious issue. People feel it's ruining the game, and that's not my language, that's theirs. So we're going to read a couple comments that are around that kind of sentiment, and I'm going to do my best to respond with a level head to what's being raised, the concerns that are being raised. Let's get into it. There were actually several comments around this issue. So Archmage bots, Splex GG, and more. This was a replay from a longer conversation I had with Crypto Llama and Jim Morgan. Great conversation. Check out the whole thing. It's on the channel. But Mike Levy and many others commented something like this. I have about $800 in SPS invested in Splinterlands. As much as I would want to support Splinterlands, I fear it won't be long before the bots destroy the credibility of the game. So I'm considering unstaking my SPS and cashing out before investment loses its value. And Mike's been here for a while. I recognize the name. I don't think he's subbed, or if he is subbed, he's not been subbed for like so long that he's got one of these puppies. But I recognize the name, so he's been here for a while. And then he gets one thumb up, so that's, you know, there's some agreement there. And we go on. Target says Archmage only in Wild. That's one reason rewards are low in Wild. Don't worry, Archmage makers fixing that to take away modern rewards also. So like a lot of animosity there, right? Like, don't worry, they're going to get, like sarcastically, they're going to get into modern also. And so he says, pretend it's your first day looking into the game to join. Would you, knowing you'll need a bot to be the best? Are we playing or extracting assets? Those are not new players entering, they're bots. So again, same sort of animosity towards I guess new accounts that are utilizing bot technology, Archmage in particular, and I think I would add that one of the things he seems to be raising is that you need a bot in order to have access to really be legitimate and have an opportunity to have success. The first guy didn't really say that. The second guy, destroying credibility was kind of the first allegation. You need a bot to be part of the best is the second. And then lastly, Mickey G here says, Archmage, congrats, Dwayne, you sold out. You're now part of the people killing the game. And pure greed is everyone on everyone's part. Who wants to play against the perfect bot? And then he goes on to say, been taking my rewards out of the game since Archmage came out. I'm not buying into Rift Watchers now. I'm selling my vouchers, 25% of my staked SPS, and waiting to see if the team grows any balls and does anything about this. I doubt it. So Mickey G, I don't think is a sub, and if he is, I don't recognize him. I will say that the comment seems clearly salty to me, and that's the read I get, Mickey. So if that's, I just have to kind of call it there, because there's no sense of, you know, and I think if you were here to speak with me, I would say the same thing to you. And I think there's no sense of in your tone of patience or, you know, even-handedness of looking at both sides. You seem to be almost intentionally crafting kind of the most salty comment you can. So, I mean, if that was what you're aiming at, I'll give you 2 stars. But in terms of accuracy, I just disagree strongly. All right, let's focus on Mickey G's comment. As you can see, this sentiment is shared by many. And so I really am trying to speak to people who are trying to understand this and who have some of maybe these concerns, but don't necessarily are open. Perhaps Mickey G's not, but maybe some of you are open to hearing critique of this viewpoint. And I would love to reasonably dialogue with you and maybe unpack where I'm coming from. Clearly, I do not believe that I am, quote, killing the game, or that I have, quote, sold out. Nor do I believe that pure greed is what's at work here. So there's a lot of just, you know, almost just derogatory comments, like almost insults for the sake of just being insulting. But let's get to the facts. Like he says, this is I would say one of the key points I want to critique. He talks about who wants to play against a perfect bot. And somebody else said, you're going to need a bot to be the best. So two different people expressing this idea that the game is going to get to a place where it requires you to have this quote unquote perfect bot to have access to wins. And I think that is nonsense, just a 100% nonsense, and needs to be called out for what it is, because any sort of mincing words around this is to imply that there really is merit, that bots are going to get to a place where humans can't compete. I don't agree. Bold, 100% do not agree. And factually speaking, Archmage is by no means that bot. So even if you were to come back and say to me, look, Dwayne, Archmage is a huge improvement over what we've seen before, and we will see better iterations in the future, and therefore we can reasonably conclude that we will get a bot, perhaps in the near future, that will be so good it will take over the entire play of this game. That would have to be your best argument. That's me trying to steelman your position. That would have to be your articulation, and I would disagree with even that, because the burden of proof is on you to be able to assert and establish that is the trajectory we are on. And I do not concede that is, because and more importantly, I think to the kind of the core of the allegation here, it's not that we're going to get to a place. I don't think either of these people are really saying, Target or Mickey, I don't think they're saying we're going to get to a place where bots are so good you can't beat them. I think they're saying worse than that we are already at that place. Target said again, you'll need a bot to be the best. Need, not like optional. There'll be no way, no alternative but to have a bot if you want to compete, is what he's saying. That's the only way I can read that. If you want to be at the highest level of competitiveness, you require the bot. Wrong. That's his point. I disagree. Mickey G says also, right? That it's quote unquote a perfect bot. Oh my goodness. No, it's not perfect. Is it strong? Yes, it's very strong. Is it better than most players? Probably. But most players to this game have been for a couple months. You guys have so much to learn. People like me have been playing this game for 3.5, 4 years long, and there's a ton that we have to learn. And so if the suggestion is that somebody like Mickey G or others could come in for the last few months, 6 months or so, and just feel as though you've mastered this in any sense, whether it's in the deck collection and like the putting together the best deck, that's kind of one level of really crushing this game. Another is understanding the interplay of those cards and the synergy that is available within those cards that you have, because every deck is different. And then watching that evolve through the changes in the meta and being prepared to adapt to that, but also watching the synergies evolve as you ascend into higher and higher levels, especially now as Modern League has recently opened and you have access with far less collection power to higher tiers of play. You are now being forced to rapidly adapt in a crazy big way, where 150,000 power is now a diamond deck, not a gold deck. That's a huge change because it introduces all kinds of new monster level thresholds and therefore synergies due to those monster levels and summoner levels. That's a gigantic change that just happened. You aren't ready for that. So the suggestion that there's almost a cockiness to the comment, as if anybody, including myself, would be ready or capable of feeling as though they are at a degree of mastery of this game now. Because one, this game is always evolving. Two, you have only been here for a beat. Three, even if you've been here for years like I have, there's so many changes in the last couple of weeks that there's no way you've got a grip on this thing, to the point where you could then say, with firm foundation under your feet, that you have reasonably tested and been able to assert that these bots are perfect and unbeatable and unfair. I don't concede that point, and I think it's a strong. That's one of your main. It seems to be one of the main criticisms of Archmage bot. And I mean, look, I can show you facts. Like Archmage bot is competing on my alt account. Let's have a peek at it. Let's look at this perfect bot. 7. Let's look at this perfect bot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 losses in 20 games. In the last 20 games, it's lost 9 times. This perfect bot. And guys, it's competing in gold. Like it's not in champion right now. It's competing in gold. And it has 500,000 power. The deck on this thing is serious. So all this, like, stop it with this nonsense about how this bot is perfect and how it's ruining the game because it's now this unbeatable force in your way. Guys, seriously, do yourself a favor and take a deep breath around this issue because you need to hear this. You aren't where you need to be, and that's the biggest move that you can make to improve what you're doing and how you're extracting value out of this game, because you can extract value from this game whether you're playing at bronze. In fact, today more than ever, that statement is true. Bronze rewards are huge. Silver rewards are huge. Gold, diamond, champion rewards are really big too, and all of them are bigger than they've ever been. SPS rewards are coming soon. Guild Brawl rewards are coming soon with SPS. There is a ton of ways you can earn value from playing and investing your time and attention in this game, and stop it with the excuses of how the bot is quote unquote ruining the game. No, guys, like, come on. The bot, first of all, bots have been here forever. They have. And I've never used them except until literally 4 days. And yeah, it's producing a lot of bronze level chests. But here's the thing, guys. I've got 500,000 power in here. Do you even own 500,000 power? That's one of the questions that you need to honestly answer for yourself, because if the answer is no, then really what you're saying to me is you're not invested in the game. You don't have a serious deck, and yet you're going to sit and complain about how you don't have a fair chance to win this game because there's too many perfect bots out there, quote unquote. No, it's not that there's too many perfect bots. It's that this game, the meta is always evolving and is dramatically evolving now, specifically because we just got a brand new legendary summoner, because Modern and Wild are now separate leagues, because Modern has these whole new tiers of collection power required to achieve high level of success, transforming the leagues you're accessing, and therefore the abilities of and levels of your summoners and monsters. Those are gigantic changes. And so talk around the bot being perfect when it clearly isn't, is nonsense. And you guys need to hear that, because if you take anything I say seriously about this game or anything I've said on this channel, it's always that this game will reward you for your time and attention, and in particular that the value of that reward will be exponentially growing as over a long time horizon, because these assets are deflationary in nature. They're scarce in number, and they're always shrinking in quantity at the same time as either new players are entering the game. And so if you disagree with that thesis, please articulate that clearly in the comments so I can hopefully respond to that also. But if there's justification for that thesis to be thrown out, I want to hear it, because I actually I don't want to play this game and support this game because it has in the past made me money. I want to create content around it and share knowledge about it and be invested in it today, because I actually have confidence in it tomorrow and in the future. And if there's reasons to throw that confidence out the window, I actually want to know. But when I read those comments, what I see is salt, and I see deep. Honestly, guys, it sounds like jealousy. You sound very, I mean, you literally said that that it's ruining the game, and that I sold out after playing a bot for 4 days. I mean, you sound ridiculous. And so, Mickey G, thank you for the comment. And I hope you take this from the position it's intended, specifically, which is to push back on what I think are deeply incorrect assumptions and an understanding of both what is capable today as well as what is necessary for today and tomorrow for you to gain value out of your time and attention investment in this game. Because you definitely can gain value from your time and attention. Absolutely, at every level. That is not even a what if. It's absolutely a promise, actually. But you need to be, you can't expect that that is going to happen over days or weeks. And if you haven't been here for even a year and you're complaining about how bots have ruined it, guy, they've been here for years longer than you have. And yet the game continues. And in fact, it is bigger than it's ever been. Whether or not we have hundreds of thousands of bots, I think we have about 160,000 active accounts. And it sounds like from the numbers I've heard, trustworthy numbers, it sounds like we have probably 100,000 bots and maybe 40, 50,000 real players, real active human beings dealing with accounts. When I started playing, guys, we had 1,000 to 3,000 accounts. And so we've seen growth and growth and growth. And if you see some reason why that growth should be no longer expected, if you believe, it comes down to this, if you believe either that this game is not fun or that it has no future, help me understand why. Because I actually want then to just get rid of all my assets and move away. But I'm not seeing it in this comment about how, quote unquote, the perfect bot is killing, quote unquote, killing the game. Wow. Wow. Mickey G, love to see a comment below, bud. And you too, Target. And also Mike Levy and a few others in here. Not necessarily everybody just quite as upset, but definitely serious, you know, let's say concerns, legitimate concerns around Archmage. I get it. I get it. Let's talk about it. Drop a comment below. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.